All right, folks, welcome back to the Charger Chronicles. This will be part two. It's been a while. It has. It really has. But there's been a lot of things going on, and keeping me from actually getting out here and doing this. The end of August was brutally hot, and I've been doing other things. It's early in the morning. I think it's like, I don't know, 7:15 on a Sunday morning. My neighbors across the street have been on vacation for a couple of weeks, and then the nearest house is kind of over there somewhere. Over there. But I did manage to. This was crazy, because I got this passenger side header off, which was actually the stock manifold, right? And I thought that was going to be the big problem, but that came out relatively easily. I pre-sprayed the bolts with the chemical there, and this one here came off very easily. It pulled right out, and everything was great. I was very surprised. But this one here, over here, this driver's side one, is stuck. And I don't have a light, but you can see that when you try to pull this thing out, it's getting hung up on this steering box, right? Right in there, steering box. And it's also, this back tube back there is getting hung up on that clutch actuator bar. And so what I thought was, this was all yesterday, Saturday. It was about, 8 or 9 hours I worked on the car. Laying on my back on these pads in the driveway. I took this left motor mount out. And I thought, I'll just try it. And previously, before that, I took the starter out. Because it seemed like that was being in the way. And when I took the starter out, it did free up some space, but not enough. And then yesterday, when I took I guess it's the left side, the driver's side motor mount off, which is down in there. I took that motor mount off, and the motor came up. I jacked it up, used a piece of wood under the oil pan. And it did come up about, I want an inch and a half, and it was great. And I thought, yeah, this is going to work. But that still wasn't enough, was not enough. So what I'm doing now, it seems like, it's kind of hard to see, but underneath that gaggle of pipes, there's the steering mechanism. It's this main John that is under here. Right. So, and now I'm kind of paying the price for all the shenanigans I did yesterday. Oh, so I had, oh man, this coupler there, I managed to get that one off, but you can kind of see it under there. I don't have a great light here, but there's the steering bar that it seems like this thing is, if I could get that out, the whole thing will drop out, which will be great. So I'm continuing that today. There's my PB blaster. This fucking, I should have bought a 55-gallon drum of that stuff, but so I had to go and buy a tool. I bought one of those long fork spreader bar things. I think it's a tie rod remover thing. It's got that fork on the end that it starts very narrow and then it gets bigger as it goes along. So I'm going to be doing that today to finish trying to get that steering thing out. Because the nuts that hold the thing together came off fairly easily, which is shocking to me. That's getting the bolts and the nuts off hasn't really been a problem. And I was surprised by that. But, so all of this is just to try to get this thing to move under its own power. That's the goal here. And I did order and receive the headers. I ordered and received the headers and the exhaust. So I got Hooker headers. And I was talking to the guy at the Summit Racing. And he says, yeah, because there's Woodrow. He says, we were talking about, open headers and, what are the ramifications of running an engine with just open headers. And he's telling me it's no big deal. And so these headers that I got, it's in the box there, but there's a left one and a right one. I don't really know what you call that. If you call it driver, passenger, or left and right, I don't really know. And then there's another box. That white box has the exhaust in it. And then this box here has the mufflers. So I have everything that I need to get this thing going. And the exhaust that I bought was, it's not straight, like 2 straight long tubes. It's like 5 different pieces that you put together with the U clamp things. So I'm hoping, my goal for just today, this is Sunday, and it's September, what the hell is today? September 13th. Yes, because my fish that I have to cook it today because that's the best by date on my fish. Well, the best if used by, right, the 13th. But it's previously frozen, and it is kind of like vacuum packed, so I got to get to that fish today, and it says the 13th. So, the goal for today is to get this header out. So I'm going to be under the car, taking that steering thing off, because I'm trying to avoid this last thing, right, which is to take the steering box off. And from what I understand, it's a gigantic pain in the ass, and I don't really want to have to deal with that, because the very first thing that you have to do is take that pin out right there. That pin, where is it? Here. I'll use this hood clamp thing to fucking point it out. This roll pin, right, that's right there. And that's the first thing you have to do to get this steering, this rod thing here, to go back that way towards the cabin of the car, to pry this thing, to get this roll pin out, and then pop this thing off and push it this way. And then that enables you to get this thing moving. But I don't know what actually holds this in place further up the line. And it's not something that I really don't want to mess with that. And we're talking about later down the road doing different kinds of conversions of, the front disc brakes and K-members. And, oh yeah, well, you can get a B-body, Barracuda or whatever with disc brakes from 1972 and just bolt the thing on. And it works like that. And, maybe later, that's something worth looking into. But the general idea that when I got the car was, let's just see if we can get it going under its own power. Like if I can just get one burnout before the winter comes, because I got to, winterize the thing and then store it. So, and I'm running out of time because it's September 13th, it's Sunday, 2025, and I'm wearing a hoodie, right? So, but it is like 7:15 in the morning. And you can hear the birds, maybe. You hear the birds? I hear the birds. So that's the update. But I'm pretty sure the carburetor rebuild went okay. And that thing with the resistor pack up there, and you can see those wires are pretty pretty hinky, right? So, and then the main big fat red power wire for the starter, that thing needs to be replaced because it is it's all shredded and got some bare wires exposed, and it's I don't know how many wires in the bundle. It's not one thick wire. It's like, I don't know, 14, 15 wires, like braided, not braided, but twisted. But by the time it gets down to the starter, it looks pretty bad. So what I did was I put the starter in the back seat because I didn't have anywhere to put it, but that's pretty much what the wires look like by the time that big fat power wire gets down to the starter there. So this obviously needs to be replaced because that's hardcore current right there. And I'll probably end up doing this one too because that's not feeling real great, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm trying to do the absolute minimum just to get one smoky burnout before I put this thing away for the winter because I don't have a garage. So, for the people that miss this car, for the people who want to be informed about what's going on here, because I am still working on it. I haven't, dropped off the planet. And I do appreciate the fact, I can't even stress how much I appreciate the fact that this is a whole car. And even though it's missing this one little trim piece right here on the window part, it's in the trunk. And I think one of the only things it's missing is this door chrome right here, the one that goes down here, because it's on the other side, but it's not in the trunk or anything. And there's all kind of stuff in the trunk. So I appreciate that, and it's really great. It's really great. We're gonna make this Charger great again, right? That's funny. So yeah, that's the update. And I guess I could do like a part 2 and let you know if I was actually successful in getting this thing out, because this is the reason why nothing has been progressing. This thing, it's stuck. And, it would be really easy to take an angle grinder to this tube right here that's getting hung up on that clutch actuator rod down there. It'd be easy to grind this thing off and just pop it out. Fine, I could do that, but that's not going to help me get the other one in. So that's why I haven't just cut this thing apart. But the headers that I got, the hookers, look kind of exactly like what's on here. So not knowing exactly what it is, or, like I said before, what the cam is, or, I'm not a car guy. So I don't really know. I don't really know, which is fine. But, this thing will drip love as it goes down the road because, I'm putting a lot of time into this, and I'm learning as I go. And that, I guess, is part of the experience. But when you feel like you're running out of time, it gets to be a little, what is it? There's a word for it when you're trying to do something very quickly, like that, right? So we'll just have to see how it goes, and that's about it. Yeah, because after I get this exhaust thing straightened out, I did look at the brakes on the rear, and for some reason, even though the emergency brake, if you look, you can look under the car because there's no floor in the where your feet go. There's no floor. So if you get under the car, you can look right through the bottom and you can see the mechanisms of that emergency brake, right? And this is very stylish. I really like this thing here. That's classic. It doesn't do anything, but it's pretty cool. The emergency brake cable is very tight, and I don't really know what that's about. I haven't had a chance to investigate that, but we're going to take a look at that after I get the exhaust going, because there's starting the car, idling the car, moving the car, and then finally stopping the car. So since the brakes are kind of seized up right now, I thought that it would be good to leave them like that, because I'm jacking it up, and you know, any tension on the brakes is going to improve my stability out here, because you know, I got this jack under there, but there's also engine stands too under there to keep it from falling over, which you see you know, lots of army videos of people that don't jack their cars up properly, and then they roll down the driveway and people run themselves over, and we don't want to do that here. So, because I'm out here by myself a lot of the time, and this car's actually very low. It's, you know, you can't get under it without jacking it up. Let's just put it that way. So, I'm still here working on the car, and that's the update. Trying to get this header out. And I'm thinking, you know, last ditch effort, I take the other motor mount off and just try to shift the whole entire thing over, up and over. But, you know, it's attached to the transmission, which is attached to the other thing, which is attached to the other thing, it's all attached. And you can only move it so much, right? It's only, you know, trying to go any further than like an inch or two. I mean, even 2 inches seems like it would be too much. So, I don't know. I'm hoping that taking this steering thing off is going to be the thing I need. But I feel that what's going to happen is, yes, you're going to be able to get it out after the steering thing gets disconnected, but you're not going to be able to get the car high enough for the geometry to, when you have to tilt it, you got to tilt the thing. And, you know, because even as high up as it is now, that end tube thing with the flange on, it's almost touching the ground, right? So I just kind of got this feeling that I'm going to have to really crank this thing up, like wheelie height, to get this thing out. And that's not going to be safe. I don't really know how I'm going to make that safe. So that's what I'm trying to figure out now, as I listen to the birds and have my coffee. And I'm standing outside this morning, and a hawk, right? This happened right in front of me, which was just shocking. It was like the Nature Channel, like National Geographic. What was that National Geographic song from like the late 70s and the early 80s? The Natural World or something. It was this TV show. I can't think of what it is. But this hawk grabs this bird and basically stomped it to death, like right in front of me. Like it was like 2 feet away. And the hawk basically he stood on this bird until it died, and then flew away with it. It's really very strange. Strange way to start the day. So yeah, that was pretty sad. I tried to get him to stop, but he wouldn't listen. So I guess nature took its course. And I guess that's it for the update. So we're going to see how it goes. And thanks for stopping by. And like I said, I'm still here. I'm still working on it. And I can't wait till I can get this burnout, man. Like, it's going to be so awesome. You know, and then you can see like how awesome it is. All right. So I'll talk to you guys later.